Hey everyone, today's painting is going to be a little bit different from my usual tutorials. Even though this one probably can't be done by absolute beginners, I still think it's really beneficial to watch how I paint it. I'll try to explain what I was trying to achieve, my thought process throughout the painting, and I'll go through different techniques and things that I used as we go. So as you can see, the first thing I did was put a thin coat of raw umber with a little yellow ochre mixed into it, and I covered the canvas with that first. I let it dry, roughly sketched out my cat eyes and nose and a little bit of detail just so I knew where I was going to paint. And then I came in and started building up the first layer of paint. So I painted in the eyes, and that was using some mint green and a little bit of phthalo green as well, with some white, just to get the rough colour of the eye. And the same with the fur. I've got my Payne's grey and titanium white, and I'm really just trying to paint in the direction of the fur, so the direction that the fur is growing. And I'm also thinking about the values, so the lighter and darker areas on the cat's face. And I'm really just working my way around the whole face, trying to keep all of these things in mind. I'm using a medium round brush to begin with, and I'm trying to just sort of get the structure of the face and build up, I guess, a little bit of a roadmap for me to follow later when I come in to do the details. So I'm putting in the basic shapes, the basic direction of the fur, the light and dark areas, because once that's done, it's going to make it a lot easier when I start adding more detail, because I can just follow the basic plan that I've already put in place. So that's really all that I'm doing to begin with. I'm not worried about any detail. I'm just slowly working my way around the whole face. And you'll see I sort of move around from one area to another. I'm trying to build it up almost as a whole rather than focusing on one section too much, just so I get a more balanced painting of the whole face. I've moved into a smaller brown brush now, and I've decided to put just a little bit more detail on the eyes. So for the right eye, I started to add in a little bit of detail. A couple of reasons for this. Honestly, one of them was because I just got a little bit bored of painting fur, so I thought I'll put in some details with the eye. I used my phthalo green again. I used my mint green, and I used my cadmium yellow and some white. I added a little Payne's grey for the shadowed areas, and I just painted lots of different layers of paint and gradually built up the colours, the different colours, some yellow areas, some greener areas, let it dry between each one, and just slowly built up the shape and colour in the eye. I also added just a tiny amount of yellow ochre, because the cat had this very slight lovely yellow colour to her eyes. And then the next thing, once the first coat of paint was dry on the fur, I came in again to give it another coat of paint, and this time I'm using a medium filbert brush because I wanted to get better coverage and I wanted it to be a little bit softer and more blended. And the filbert brush worked a lot better for this. I found it a lot easier, and I gave all of the fur pretty much another coat of paint, softening and blending the light and dark areas together. While that was drying, I came back into the eyes and started tweaking a few things and just building it up again, correcting a few areas that I wasn't happy with. Adding a few different colours, especially on the left eye. I did struggle a little bit with this one. I just couldn't get it quite right. You'll see me coming back to it quite a few times during the video just to fix little things, but just slowly building it up as a whole again, adding in some detail, and that's with my small round brush again. Then I came back to it the next day and I started to add in just a few more details, and what I was really looking at was the lighter and darker areas but in a lot more detail, and I was thinking a lot more about how I blended them together. This was actually a painting that I was doing for my daughter. She just rescued a beautiful little grey cat. She had gorgeous green eyes and I thought it would be lovely to do a painting of her. So for this particular painting, I wanted it to look like a certain cat, not just a generic cat. So I was taking my time and really focusing on her particular markings so I could get them just right and it would look exactly like her. So that's why I was using a very small brush, and I was really trying to focus on all of the tiny little details that made her unique. The other thing that I decided when I first chose to do this painting was, even though the cat was grey and I knew that I was going to use my paints grey and white, I also wanted to add in a little colour and just use a little bit of artistic license and just add some colour to the painting, really to make it a little bit different. So I decided to put just a very slight and delicate amount of cobalt blue and also a little bit of the mint green again mixed throughout the fur. And I know this might sound like, why are you painting blue and green fur? That's not going to look very realistic. But it was just so delicate and slight that I think it gave it a little bit of something different, and just added a little bit of something to the painting, a little bit of colour, instead of only using paints grey and white. Of course, you don't have to do this at all. For me, it was just a personal choice and something that I wanted to do. When I'm adding in the details on the cat, again, I'm thinking about the whole face at once. So what I tend to do and what works for me is just painting a little bit here and there and moving around the whole painting at the same time. So I might do a little bit on the nose and then I might move to another section and do a little bit there, and just gradually try to bring it all together. If you get bored from painting one area or you're struggling a little bit with it, it's just not going right, often it's best just to leave it, move on to another area, do something fresh. You can always come back to an old part and go over it again. So you'll see I'm giving it a little glaze of very, very light cobalt blue with a little bit of paint grey mixed into it. It's very thin, just to give that slight blue sheen to the fur here and there. And also for the highlights, that's when I'm mixing in my mint green. When I'm doing the details, I was really paying attention to the direction that the fur was growing, especially on the nose, because you can create the shape of the nose by using the direction of the fur to create those curves and shapes to make it look more realistic. The other thing that would probably be useful to know is if the paint is on the drier side, you'll get more of a softer blended look. If you want a finer point and to paint in individual pieces of fur or hair. If you put a little bit of water or thinner to the paint, you'll get a nice sharp point and you'll be able to just have a little bit more detail and a sharper line. I tended to do that more with some of the real detail, especially on the whiskers and around the nose. There were also parts of her that had a very slight brown tinge to her fur, so I came back in with my raw umber again. I did mix it with a little bit of Payne's Grey as well, and just added a few little strands of fur that was just slightly more brown. And I think the thing to remember is you can always come back over the top. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it, let it dry. You can come back over the top, and you'll see throughout this painting, I slowly changed areas from being slightly darker to slightly lighter. I added in more blue, I added in more brown, and I just built up the picture as I went. You can make very small alterations as you go, and it really does change the whole painting. So don't ever worry if you make a mistake, just keep going, keep painting over the top of it until you get something that you like. You can also see that I'm blotting a little bit of the paint off because it was just a little bit too heavy. For the whiskers, I got my liner brush. I mixed Payne's Grey with mostly titanium white, so it was quite a light grey to begin with, not bright white. I'll come in and put some highlights on the whiskers later, but for the most part I just used my liner brush. I thinned the paint down so it was nice and thin and easy to paint with, and I just painted on those whiskers with nice long strokes of the brush. And this part on the corner, I didn't quite like that the fur came out quite as much as I painted it. It did look like that on the photograph, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I just blocked out my background again, and then when that's dry, I'll just put the fur in over the top and just make it a little shorter. And then for me, it usually gets to a point of the painting where I don't look at the photograph quite as much, and I start looking at what the painting looks like as a whole. So I feel like I've got the general likeness of the cat. So now I go in and I just start thinking, okay, do some areas need to be darker? Do some areas need to be lighter? And I focus on what looks good as a painting without relying on the photograph too heavily. And this is also when I came in and started adding a few glazes with my cobalt blue, and also started adding a little bit more of my mint green just to make it more into what I had in my mind before I started. I've got my liner brush again to do a few little fine hairs above her eye. And it really is a case of just going round and round, working on it until you feel like you've done everything you can and it's time to stop. I do hope you've enjoyed today's painting. If you have, please consider hitting the like button for me. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments, and I'll see you next time.